You're listening to Excess Gaming Podcast, a podcast for gamers by gamers, with your hosts Xander Scullion and James Gruesome, bringing you something old, something new, and a little bit of nostalgia too. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Excess Gaming Podcast. This is episode 66. We're recording this on June 21st. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and joined with me is the wonderful Mr. James Gruesome. What's up, James?
I feel like playing a game of Lucky Hit, or buying some toy capsules, maybe. How y'all doing out there?
Well, I mean, I'm doing great, and first of all, I want to say real quick, Happy Father's Day to all the dads and everybody listening to the show, and I hope you guys are having a great day. You know, I hope you guys got some like good breakfast or some ties or something. I don't know.
Games.
Yeah, definitely. But what we're going to be covering mostly in this episode, it's going to be all about E3. And man, this has just been one crazy E3. I think this has been one of the best E3s we've had in a couple of years. Because I remember, you know, back in like, I want to say like 2010 to 2012, there wasn't a whole lot going on with E3s. I remember a lot of people kind of felt kind of lackluster about it. But this year, man, they really, really kicked it up the ante.
Yeah, just from the bit, and you know, I didn't watch any of it. I got most of my updates from you actually, which was really cool. And I had a couple other friends text me about a few things, but it definitely seemed pretty eventful. Like everything, like lots of really significant things. Like even, for instance, some of the games that we'll get into after a bit that came out. If it might be one that some people might not want, but the fact that some of these games come out, it's still really amazing, and it just shows about the fans, I think, and what they can do by really wanting to get these products out there. It seemed really exciting. Everything I heard was just it just seemed really cool. It actually seemed like it would have been one that would be fun to sit down and actually watch as it all was happening.
Yeah, I was able to watch some of it. In my work schedule, I couldn't check out everything. I had my friend Amanda. I had her like filling in the updates for me when I was working late at night because I'd be going in right when conferences were starting, especially with Sony and Square. But it's funny though because I thought this was a really good E3, and I'm gonna kind of break it down. I'm gonna start first. We're gonna start first with Nintendo. And after Nintendo, we'll take our break and go into Xbox One and PS4. But the thing about Nintendo, a lot of people say that, and I hate it, man. I'm not a big fan of, like, who won E3, because I feel like at the end of the day, like, we all won. We're all the gamers win because we have games to play. That's the biggest thing.
Definitely.
But, everyone always talks about how E3 is, like, the Christmas of gaming. Well, my only problem with E3 is we had a lot of leaks, and a lot of leaks from Nintendo. It was almost like if this was the E3 of Christmas, we were the kids that like peeled back the gift paper and kind of saw that we were getting a new fire truck this year, Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things like mostly the stuff they showed Nintendo were mostly release dates. Most importantly, one of the games I'm looking forward to, Fatal Frame, it looks like it's getting an October release.
What a perfect time for that to come out.
I know.
Another one, just since you said, this is off of Nintendo real quick, but Yakuza 5, since I love that, I just heard it's coming out in October also.
Oh, nice.
Two really awesome franchises that we didn't think we were going to get, either one of those. And, what an awesome Halloween present right there for everybody. Both.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally looking forward to it. And, of course, I think the most important thing with Nintendo, the thing that really made them shine, wasn't so much the E3 conference. It was the Nintendo World Championship a week ago from recording. It was last Sunday. And I remember I treated this event like it was the Super Bowl. I ordered a pizza. I went and got like a 6-pack of beer. Me and Amanda both jumped on like PS4 so we could like do like a live chat while we were watching it. And it was really cool. They showed off a lot of games that most of us have played, but they showed off two other games. One of them is being Mario Maker, which, oh my gosh, man. Super Mario Maker is going to be so much fun. I am really looking forward to this, and it's going to be coming out in September. And then they showed another game that's kind of caused Nintendo a little bit of flack. At Nintendo World Championship, it was called Blaster Ball. But then later on, it was revealed that it was a Metroid Prime Federation Force. Now, James, have you been hearing about this whole, like, pissed off level from these guys?
I have heard, man, Blaster Ball. I guess that's better than Ball Blaster. But this is actually the very first I've heard of this. So this is extreme news to me. I know nothing of this.
Well, oh my gosh, man! Like it's been blowing up everywhere. A lot of Nintendo fans are upset because this is a Metroid game. This is a Metroid Prime game, but it's more like a mini game, and it's like a side game. It doesn't have Samus in it, and it's got like almost like these Federation soldiers. They look kind of like, you know, cyborg soldiers, but they look a little more like kitty, almost cutesy. And it's kind of like a game of soccer almost. Like you're it's really weird, but
like a Mega Man soccer, right?
Yeah, I mean, people are really pissed off though because they were like, we wanted a Metroid game, and this isn't Metroid. And to me, I'm not really that upset about it. It's for the 3DS. It's a mini game. To me, it's no worse than when they came out with Metroid Pinball, and that was fun.
Wow, that I'm a huge fan of any of the pinball games that have come out. The Mario, the Metroid, I think was probably the best. Really enjoyed that. But to me, this just kind of says that, hey, Metroid game is coming out. The fact that they would do this, it seems like it's almost just like a little like something really just to kind of piss people off, and then hit them up a little bit later with, hey, look, here's what you wanted, you know?
Exactly. And the funny thing is too is people are even getting petitions to get this game canceled. I mean, if you go on the YouTube video to watch the trailer, it has like maybe like 1,000 likes, but 4,000 thumbs down. Like, people are so mad about it. It's so hilarious.
That is just kind of funny. I mean, you know, everybody gets mad about something at some point, but you know, it's everybody's right to laugh at the other person when they get mad. It's okay, you know. We bitch and whine about a few things too sometimes, but you know, to me that. It sounds kind of interesting. You know, I thought the idea of Mega Man Soccer was kind of cool. I love Nintendo World Cup. I like kind of fun little soccer games like that sometimes, with little sports with characters, you know, we know sometimes involved in. Of course, this one, I guess, without Samus. But, you know, I think it's just meant to be like a little fun teaser just to kind of poke at people a bit. And it's just so funny, the petitions. It's like, man, just how about not buy it, you know?
Yeah.
I can see like the view though, because you know they might think, oh, this is taking away from us getting a real Metroid game. And you know, going back to Yakuza, I felt the same way when they put out Dead Souls. I was like, I could have had Yakuza 5, but I got this crap. And I see where they're coming from, you know. But at the end of the day, I really think you're gonna get your Metroid game. You know, who knows? Maybe we could end up with a Metroid Prime and a classic style Metroid. I mean, that's my hope. I think that would be the greatest thing. But you know, Nintendo's going to come out and you know they're going to show you what they got, and I think you'll get your Metroid game before too long.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people are saying that they're like, oh, we're not going to get another Metroid until they come out with a new NX, and that's still up in the air. We don't know anything about that. But they did show a game that I was really excited about. They finally showed a lot more footage of Star Fox Zero, and oh my gosh, man, this game is going to be so fucking awesome. One thing I really like about it is it does utilize the gamepad, but it utilizes it in a way that it doesn't use motion controls, which I really like. So you won't be holding your gamepad and swinging it around and doing weird shit, but what happens is you can actually look at your gamepad and it's like a cockpit view. And you can look at your TV and you see the ship. When you go in cockpit view, it helps you be more like technical, and you could do certain things like doing bomb drops and stuff. And also, they borrowed an element from the unreleased Star Fox 2, where your ship can actually become mobile and like walk on land. It looks almost like a little chicken. It's awesome.
It's kind of like a little mech walking around.
Yeah, yeah. It's like something like from like Robotech or Macross or something. You know, I really think that's really cool. That I think that's coming out during the holidays. That's going to probably be the holiday blockbuster of Nintendo. But
Definitely sounds like it would be one to come out around then. I mean, that's, it's one I'd say I've never been the biggest Star Fox fan. I've just never really been too much into flight games, but this is one I definitely would check out. It's been a long time, and it's always cool, when you get, a good quality title that's come back like that too. And to get one on Wii U, I still like that system and supporting it, and it's one I just think will be really cool, especially with the gamepad. I think the non-motion control use is great, because I just don't want to do that. But I think they're doing exactly what I would picture using it for. Certain bit of extra, like you said, like the cockpit view or controls from there. And it's just, I think it'll have a great ability to just be a great game and, be online. You can probably fight your friends, blast people. Should be great. And a great holiday game, too.
yeah, and it's Platinum Games is helping make it. Which Platinum Games, they were the ones that did Bayonetta 2. Which, if you remember, towards the end of Bayonetta 2. If you get the Star Fox costume, then the airship level turns into like a Star Fox level, and it was kind of like almost like a hint of what was to come. And if it plays anything like that, I'm going to be really really happy. Now, the day they did the Nintendo World Championship, they also released some new DLC for Smash Brothers, and I actually purchased the the Ryu Smash Brothers DLC. That's right, you can play as Ryu from Street Fighter on the Smash Brothers, and let me tell you, it's weird, but it's awesome.
Man, that's I'd probably just be like, man, it's not Ken. You can see, Ryu's more of the mascot, but that's just really cool, just to have the different style of characters and to have them on there. Can you dragon punch people in the
Oh
face?
yeah,
Like from
yeah. It's cool because I mean, like the controls are like Smash, but they've added some elements to it from Street Fighter, where you can do the Hadouken and the Shuriken, and you can do those button combinations, and they're actually more powerful instead of just pushing like a smash button. So I mean that's kind of cool. They added his stage to it. I know eventually they're going to be adding a Ryu amiibo, which I'm gonna have to get that. That's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, that'll be pretty cool. You always gotta wonder, like, will he just be standing in his arms crossed
Oh
pose?
yeah.
Will he be shooting a fireball, or will he
Like,
be mid dragon
or like
punch?
just standing there tightening his bandana on his head. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be another good one too, like Rambo style.
Yeah, I mean it's so interesting thinking that he's going to be in an amiibo, because they announced that all the Smash characters are going to be amiibos, and they did release some more amiibos that are going to be coming out, including like Ganondorf, the little captain from Pikmin. Uh, they also
Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, I think that was once again something that you'd posted up. That looked like a really nice run. Let's see, there was a Samus in there
yeah,
too,
like Zero Suit Samus,
and man,
Golden
I remember
Axe,
looking.
Rob the Robot.
Oh, the Rob, yeah, because I mean, there was at least half of those that I thought were just like really cool. That are ones that like I was like, I want to get out and get those when those come out, because I kind of slowed down. I don't really get too many, but seeing those were like, man, that it's nice to know they're still coming out with cool ones like that. I mean, with Ryu coming out, who's to say? You never know. You might get some more Street Fighter characters too later on.
Yeah, I mean, I've slowed down a lot with my amiibo collecting. I mean, I still love to get them, and I'm still looking forward to them. But as of like pre-ordering, and I never got to the point where I was like waiting in line first thing in the morning at like a Target or anything like that. I never got to that point. Uh, but the way I look at it is I got a lot of them. I mean, I'm missing quite a few, but I have more than most, and it's one of those things like it's to the point where I don't want to have more amiibos in my game room than video games, and that's what it's kind of that's what it's going to kind of get to, because I already like built like a really nice custom shelf to hang on my wall, and it's already full. And I'm gonna have to make another one, and I'm like, there comes a time where I'm just gonna have to be like, do I want to keep getting these amiibos and keep up with it, or do I just want to kind of slow down? And that's what I'm kind of getting to. There's like a handful of amiibos. I'm like, man, I really want that one, but there's some like, especially nothing against the series, but I've never really gotten into the whole Fire Emblem thing. So there's like certain ones like from Fire Emblem and stuff like that I'm not like obsessing over that I have to get.
Yeah, those are ones too. I know some of those were ones that were, a few of the harder ones to find. And I'm kind of the same way. I've tried Fire Emblem. Seems like it could be really cool, but it's just not my thing. But I'm surprised Nintendo really hasn't made their own like kind of big shelves to try to sell to people.
Oh, they have. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they have. There's these amiibo like displays that you can get. And I ordered one of them about a month ago, and it should be coming in August. And it's actually the stack up blocks right before you get to the flagpole in Mario, and it's got the flagpole. So you put like I think like maybe like 4 or 5 amiibos on it. It's just like a little display, but they have some that are more detailed than that, and it's really interesting what they're doing. And also with amiibos, something they added that was really weird is Nintendo is actually working with Skylanders now. They have a DK and a Bowser Skylander coming out.
Now, are those? Now, I'm just wondering, like, so are those going to be just Skylanders, or are they like they're not like a dual amiibo Skylander? Are they
Skylanders? And it's one of those things. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but no, I'm not. I'm not wasting my money on it. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things. Like I'm already almost out of the amiibo phase. I don't want to get into Skylanders.
No, I mean they have some. It seems like it was one that if you played because I really don't know a whole lot about Skylanders. I know they have a lot of franchises. I know my friends with kids absolutely love it. The kids love it, and they do have some really cool figures. I remember seeing like the Mickey from Fantasia, and a few other ones like Disney, and I was just like, man, this just looked pretty cool. But I didn't get them. But I do like that shelf that you were talking about. The fact that it's not just like a shelf. They actually made it kind of like a level in a game, like more like a play set or something, which is that's really cool. They went that way with it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I mean, like, when people are talking about who won E3 and stuff like that, a lot of people say that Nintendo was the weakest, but I don't really think Nintendo was that weak. Now, it wasn't their best E3. Like, I think their E3 last year and their Treehouse events were a lot better. I don't think it was completely a huge failure. I think what the only problem was is that people were expecting a lot of new stuff, but that wasn't the case, and we mostly just got release dates. So
on one hand, release dates lots of times is something we don't get from Nintendo.
Exactly.
So it's kind of nice. You got something.
So yeah, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking about PS4 and Xbox One, and the next song that I'm going to be playing for our break time is going to be kind of segueing into our PS4 talk. So sit back, guys, and enjoy the ride. we are back, guys, and yes, that music that you guys just heard was probably the biggest bombshell at E3 this year, something that we thought we would never see in our lifetime, and I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way, and that is the Final Fantasy VII Remake that's coming for the PS4. Holy shit.
It's finally here, huh? It's one that you just figured for so many years of rumors and people wanting it and demanding it, and it just kind of floated in limbo forever, and then there it is.
Well, honestly, it was one of those things that I thought that we would never get, because I was just like, man, this is too big of a task for Square Enix. Cause I mean, like, and it's still kind of scary because it's going to be a complete remake. Like, the graphics are totally different. It's building it from the ground up. They even mentioned that they're going to change some things in the story, which kind of makes me curious, but it kind of makes me nervous, because it's one of those things, like, if it doesn't live up to all the fans' high expectations, and it's not, there's going to be people that are going to be pissed off. They're going to do something that's going to piss someone off. It could be financial suicide for Square Enix, because this is like the Final Fantasy that has the biggest cult following. A lot of people are like, oh, Final Fantasy VII is very overrated. Overrated or not, it's got a huge fan base, and it really set the bar for JRPGs in the 90s, and for PlayStation. That's what really made PlayStation pop out, was Final Fantasy VII.
It really was a standout game, and it's one I've said before, I don't know if I'd ever go back and play it again. Now, a complete, like this version sounds, it is possible. But for me at the time, I was around like 19. I remember my stupid ex-brother-in-law got it for me for Christmas, which that was cool. And I was kind of like, I hadn't played a role-playing game in a little while, and just got it. And it was kind of cool because, like, me and one of my friends played through, like, the first disc, and me and a couple other friends played through the second disc, and then my other friends kind of finished the third, and I kind of came in and saw the ending. But it was still a very fun experience in getting to play that through, with my, like, different sets of friends, and just going, it's hard for everybody to keep up with what was going on, but just, that's pretty monumental that it is one, like you said, that, the people want. It seems to be, really the most popular, the most wanted, at least, because a lot of the other ones are available. But, with man, just thinking, like, the graphics, because I'm pretty sure it looks pretty crappy. Like, if you went back and just played the PS1 one.
Yeah, it hasn't aged well at all. And, I know a lot of people, like, because I've expressed so much about how much I don't really care for all the HD remasters. But, see, this is something a little different, because, I had some people be like, well, Xander, why are you so excited about this, but, they make an HD remaster of a game that came out last year and you're pissed off. Well, that's the reason, like, I feel like there should be
this game's like 20 years old.
Yeah, it's an old game. It just turned 17 or 18. So, it's old, and they're building, it's a remake. There's a big difference between a remake and a remaster. This isn't just a new coat of paint. This isn't some game that just add the DLC into it and up the frame rate and make it more high definition. This is a totally new game, and plus the fact that they're going to be changing the story as well, that gives me a chance to replay it, have a whole new experience. So, that's why I'm really excited about it. I can't wait for it.
It definitely is. It's like you said, this is not a game that came out 2 years ago with a little bit of shine on it. That's the thing, that we don't really care for. When you get something like this, like you said, I was trying to think, I was like, I was like 19, and I was like, I'm almost like trying to do the math in my head, and I was like, it's close to 20. But yeah, around like 17, 18 years old, just a game that, going back, like we said, a lot of PS1 games look, kind of gross sometimes when you go back and play them. I haven't played that one in a while, but I imagine it's just really blocky. But to see what they'll do with it. Now, do you know, is it going to be a download title, or is this going to be a a physical format too.
Oh, it's totally going to be physical. I mean,
Oh,
I'm expecting to see like not only will it be physical, I'm expecting to see like special editions come out for it. I mean, this is going to be a very big deal, and so far it looks like it's going to be coming out for PS4 and PC. I'm don't quote me on if it's coming out for Xbox One or not, but yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I just would imagine it not coming out on Xbox because it seems like Square's always kind of hung with Sony.
And
But that's just, man, that's really cool. Physical release, another good reason to, look at getting a 4. I keep seeing, day by day I'll see new little games here and there. Just like, man, like I'm gonna get me one of those one day.
yeah, I mean, and it's almost like Sony threw out so many games that I felt like we've been asking for years. We're finally getting them. Another one, Last Guardian. Last Guardian finally got announced. It's going to be coming out for the PS4. This was a game that came out or was announced on the PS3 back when the PS3 was like only like a year old. It was made by like the Team Ico guys, guys behind Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, or should I say Eco. It's made by that team, and people, for years, people were like, man, I cannot wait to see The Last Guardian. They kept hinting it, kept making rumors. It's finally coming out. And another one that I'm really excited about is the announcement of Shenmue 3. Holy shit.
I love these. Man, suede-headed Ryo.
Yeah,
Come back.
it was just so weird. I mean, like, when I was hearing all this news, I was at work. I was in my work truck on my way to work, and, I work out of town, so, I'm on the road. And Amanda's, messaging me about the Sony conference because I didn't get to check it out. And all of a sudden she was just like, holy shit. Oh my God. And it was like all in bold. And she just kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, what? She's like, it's here. It's finally here. And that's when she was talking about Final Fantasy VII. And I remember when I heard about Final Fantasy VII, The Last Guardian, and Shenmue 3 all in that work truck, I remember I was trying to keep my composure. Because my boss is like, he doesn't know what's going on. We're on our way to work. We're listening to talk radio. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I remember feeling my hands, my arms getting numb. And I was just getting, I just wanted to scream. I was so excited. So, I mean, that was really something cool that Sony did, was just they just delivered the games that we've been asking for over a decade.
It's really nice they do that, and I know, it's like Sony will. I imagine with Shenmue, is that something that Sony jumped in to put out?
Well, it's interesting. Shenmue 3 is a Kickstarter. But the thing is like, I think they're doing this Kickstarter because it's already funded. It got funded like in less than 24 hours. They made $2 million. It was supposed to make $2 million for its goal. It made that in less than 24 hours. But I think what it was is Sony is helping make Shenmue 3, but I think they were mostly doing a Kickstarter to get the rights. Yu Suzuki, the guy behind Shenmue, of course, he doesn't own the rights to Shenmue. Sega did. And I think what it was, it's like they were doing this Kickstarter to get the rights to Shenmue, so it belongs to him now.
Yeah, I know fans for a long time have been trying to, petition and do kinds of things to get the rights back to him because he wanted to make it. I mean, man, wow, Shenmue 3. I guess so many people, hear about it. It's just one of those games that you really had to play, at the time. And, I loved it. I never played part 2 because by the time I got around to it, I'd already been playing Yakuza. And that, like, what I loved about Shenmue, I kind of got that and more from Yakuza. But not to say that I'll buy a damn Shenmue 3 when it comes out.
Yeah.
Plus, it just kind of proves that anything can happen. And Sony doing that, like I said, they've been trying to pick up the ball on a couple things that people really want. I keep going back to it, but Yakuza 5, yeah, Sony definitely kicked in on that to get that released over here. And doing this as far as getting Shenmue, I mean, man, that's just, like I said, that's a game that whether, you're really excited about playing it or not, just the simple fact that it's actually coming out is it's just pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's like all of our answers were answered for pre-3 with Sony. I mean, they announced some new games too coming out. I knew After Dawn. I'm really excited about that game because it's pretty much like a slasher video game in the sense that you're running away from this psychotic killer inside of a cabin in the middle of like the mountains and stuff, which I think that's really cool. Of course, No Man's Sky looks like a really cool flight game. Horizon, uh, it looks really cool. It looks like almost like a trippy Turok dinosaur hunter because he's like taking a bow and arrow and killing robotic dinosaurs. That's pretty cool. And thinking about some other games, Dreams. There's a game coming out called Dreams where you actually are like this dream master and you can like control this world and you can make things like either beautiful or very like nightmarish.
So you like Freddy Krueger? Dream Master.
Dream warrior.
Don't wanna dream no more.
But yeah, I mean, those are really cool games. But I mean, like those are the games that really stuck out in my head. And I think that stuck out in everyone's head was those three. Now, getting into Xbox One. Now here's the thing. Last E3, they Sony made me want to get a PS4, and that's what happened. And I was really curious about Microsoft this year because I was like, you know what? This is Microsoft's time to shine. They've been really quiet. They haven't really talked about anything too much. And I was like, this might be the E3, but I'm like, you know what? I want an Xbox One. And you know what? That fucking happened. And the reason why I say that is because one of the things that Xbox did that I thought was really interesting is they now have backwards capability with the Xbox 360.
That's something, of course, we always want and love. I told my brother about that, about the backwards compatibility. He's like, is it going to be Xbox also? Like original Xbox? And I was like, nah, dude. I'm pretty sure they're not going back that far, man. I don't, I don't think they do that. But the 360 enough, just because, man, you got to think of like how many people had probably maybe gotten rid of their 360 to get a new system, and it does have such a huge library, along with the PS3. Both those just huge libraries. And I'd wonder too if maybe Sony would try to do something to get the backwards, just to try to step it up a little bit. When I heard that news though, that was really awesome. I mean, I don't have either one of the new systems yet, but I mean, that one, it made me think a little bit, just the fact that they do that, because that's what fans want, We don't want to pay another $20 for these games as downloads.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I don't see Sony doing it anytime soon, and the main reason why is because of the PS Now app.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest thing. And Microsoft took a stab at Sony when they were introducing it. I remember the president was like, and the best thing about this is you can play games you already own. So pretty much what you're doing is you're taking an Xbox 360 game, you're putting the disc into the Xbox One, and it downloads the data, and you can just play it off your Xbox One. You don't need the disc anymore. It's pretty much like you're downloading the game onto your Xbox hard drive, which is pretty interesting, which they also introduced a brand new Xbox One that's got a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is really good.
They're going to need a bigger hard drive.
Yeah, which is really good. So, I mean, they're doing that, and, that's where my whole thing goes into about, playing your older games on your newer systems. I mean, I really think we were spoiled with the PS2, and I know I talk a lot about the HD remasters. The only reason why I talk about it so much is because I know these newer consoles can play these older games. I know it because Microsoft proved it. Because I remember when Xbox One first came out, at first they said, "Oh, you have to have the Kinect hooked up to the Xbox. It's paired with the console. It won't work." Well, then they came out with a patch where you could do that. Then they were like, "Oh, the Xbox 360's infrastructure is totally different than the Xbox One, and we wanted to cut down the cost." And so it's not going to be able to do that, but maybe we'll have it for downloads later, or you can always buy the HD remasters and relive the experience. Well, now you can have the backwards play. So it's hard for me to believe everything they tell me, because I'm like, I know you guys are just trying to make money, especially with the Sony PS Now. I mean, I've talked to some like big Sony fans, and they were like, they Sony will never be able to play PS3 games on the PS4 because of how different the systems are, how harder it was for the developers, and blah blah blah. Yet you can get PS Now and download live streams of PS3 games. It's like, how come you can play PS3 games through emulation onto your PS4, but you can't play an actual PS3 game? Like, that's where I'm kind of confused with,
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
all, it's like, I guess Microsoft, are they just going to be able to do that by like a patch? Or, was that just like, always in there? Sometimes I could see some type of limitation, but like, it is like a money thing. And I mean, I understand that, but it was just, the PS2, like you said, man, that was really cool. You could play the PS1 games. I mean, even on my PS3, I don't have the one that plays them all, but it does play PS1 games, without FMV in them. But, I usually will just use the PS2. But, man, even 360 having the capability, with select, original Xbox games was really cool. It's just just mainly because these libraries are just so huge, and the people don't have to keep a hold of systems because, I mean, some of these systems are kind of big.
Yeah.
They take up space, and sometimes it's nice because a lot of people don't have that, and then you can cut down a lot of these games. You can get for really cheap. You can go back and play. Maybe your first system is an Xbox One. You never had a 360. Now that just opens up so many, affordable and really good games that people can go back and play now. It's nothing but great just for the gamers in general, and for the gaming community, and maybe it's something that other companies will look at. Wii U was really awesome how you were able to play Wii games on it. Same thing with Wii and GameCube. It'd be really cool to play GameCube games on the Wii U, but they're starting to put some of those out for download, and I don't expect a system to have more than one other system it could play. So it's just good to have that. I think that's just really cool.
Yeah, so that really made me excited when I heard that. But of course, I mean, Xbox One is coming out with some really good games. One of them that really interested me was one called Recore, which is also put out, who helped make that was Keiji Mifune. I remember seeing his name pop up. I'm like, what? And what I like about Recore is it's got like that deserty type of like apocalyptic look to it. It kind of made me think of like a Mad Max meets Beyond Good and Evil, if you remember that game.
Yeah.
It kind of made me think of that. And, she's got this like little robot dog, and, they get in this fight, and the robot dog gets injured, and she ends up taking like this little orb out of the robot dog and puts it into like another robot. So it shows that, she can change her companions and stuff like that. It looks really something interesting. So they announced that. Also, Cuphead, which is like a really fun looking shooting platformer that looks like a 1930s Disney cartoon. It looks absolutely amazing. I was like, man, Cuphead looks awesome.
Yeah, I remember seeing some pictures of that somewhere, and that one definitely caught my eye. Anytime I flip through a magazine or look at stuff, I always look to check and see, what system is this going to be on? Like, is it a system I need to get, or like, can I get it now? And, sometimes you get the Xbox One, sometimes it's PS4 and Vita, and then once in a while you'll still get it on the old ones. But the Cuphead was definitely had that old cartoon look, which just really drew me into it.
Yeah, so I mean, they mentioned that, of course, the brand new Tomb Raider, that looks fun, and of course, they mentioned this isn't really console exclusiveness talk, but they did mention the new Doom, which looks amazing, and of course Fallout 4, which I had to admit I'm not a huge Fallout fan. I've always been more into the Elder Scrolls. Like I like fantasy more than like the steampunkish type of look. That's just my thing. But I did pre-order it because they did have the special Pip-Boy edition where you get an actual Pip-Boy that you can put your cell phone in and download like the Pip-Boy app, and it's just something really stupid but cool at the same time. I mean, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and order it, which I'm glad because it's already sold out. So I mean, a lot of people, we had a lot of answers. Shenmue 3, Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 7, Fallout 4, New Doom. I mean, games that we've been wanting for such a long time that's finally coming out. And before I close with the game talk and go into our YouTube shout-outs, I do want to say that one thing the Xbox is coming out with that I'm really excited about is the Rare Collection. I remember you saw that.
Oh yeah, I was like, are you not gonna mention that? And I was like, let's get ready to talk about that. For me, is I love compilations. I try to get them, any of the ones that have come out. I think they're such an awesome deal. Usually their price is below normal anyway, and you get lots of times 20 to 30 games. Games you either have fond memories of or maybe never even got to play. And this Rare one, as soon as I was like, I was like, oh no, yeah, that's definitely going to be Xbox only because it's Rare.
Yeah.
But that's one. It's things like that, that had me thinking about the Xbox One a little bit more. That backwards compatibility, and yes, a Rare compilation disc.
I mean, this has so many great games. I mean, it's got arcade games. It's got games from the N64. I mean, it's got everything from like Banjo-Kazooie to RC Pro-Am, the freaking Conker's Bad Fur Day, Killer Instinct. I think it even had Killer Instinct Gold on there. Perfect Dark. I mean, so many great games, and just for $30, it's like, because this is like the 30th anniversary of Rare, so it's like $30 for 30 games.
This goes way beyond what normal compilations. Whether it's older games, older arcade games. Honestly, they're not the biggest games. To me, you've got games like Banjo, Conker, Perfect Dark. These are, full games. And the fact that they're all in one, that is just really cool. That's it's pretty amazing too, and just shows, that it'd be nice if we had more compilations like that with more stuff. Just, man, that's just pretty exciting. And that one I could see how I said compilations normally are a bit lower price, but that one, I wouldn't have a problem with that being whatever standard game price is, just because of the value within that. These games, hell, Conker's Bad Fur Day, what on 64 is still, what is that, probably like a $30 or $40 game, I think.
Now.
Yeah, see, I mean, just the fact that a lot of these games, are just so hard to come by and get without, chopping off an arm and selling it. And to get them all on that, it just, once again, man, that's really awesome fan service. It's just great for gamers.
Definitely. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to be getting an Xbox One very soon. I say soon as in, like, I'm not getting it next week, but it's going to be in the near future. But, yeah, I wanted to get into our YouTube shout-out, that this little new segment that I wanted to, that started last episode that I want to keep doing, and then we'll get into games we've been playing recently. But yeah, the YouTube shout out goes to Magnus X1. Now, for some of you listeners that haven't checked out his channel, he's been a part of YouTube for a very long time. He was one of the earliest YouTube channels. I mean, he was before people like Happy Console Gamer. I mean, what I like about him is it's guerrilla filmmaking. Very organic. He makes some rants. He makes some discussions. He doesn't bullshit. He's a good friend of mine. And he just rebooted his channel. He hadn't made a video in a very long time, but he's starting to make videos again. And, he's doing everything from talking about comics to anime to video games to just the gaming community within itself. So be sure to check out Magnus X1. I will have a link to his channel on the description of this episode. And if you guys are listening, if you guys have a YouTube channel, or maybe if you guys have a blog, you write articles or reviews, or maybe if you also have a podcast, because we have some friends that do podcasts as well, be sure to check out the Excess Game Podcast group page on Facebook, and that will also be in the description as well. So click on that, join our little community, and be sure to share your content with us so we can help spread your name out there. You help spread our name out there. It's just energy giving energy.
Just spreading it all around. And it's really cool. With Magnus, actually, a friend of mine yesterday was just talking about him, watching some of his videos.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, but so with that being said, we'll get into games we've been playing recently, and I'm going to start with you, James.
Okay, I haven't played the absolute most. I've been trying to rearrange some things, so I've had stuff unplugged. But I was wanting to play a wrestling game. I've been watching some wrestling like normal, and I was like, man, I'll play a wrestling game. Just trying to think of what I wanted to play, and I pulled out this old Legends of Wrestling that I paid $2 for. This was a PS2, GameCube, and Xbox game that came out in, I think, 2001 maybe. Had lots of wrestlers that were not employed by WWF or anybody at the time. So it's like you had Hogan and Iron Sheik, and you get even newer guys like Rob Van Dam and Sabu, and you had Terry Funk, Rock and Roll Express. Just a really classic roster. And no, it's not the best game in the world, but I found myself really enjoying it. I like the fact that it has, way back when they had territories in wrestling, and you go from area to area just wrestling the guys there until you get the belt and defending it. And it's just something that's not really around anymore, and it was cool to represent that in the game. And I just found myself trying to figure out, I had to look at the instructions to figure out how to play it. It's just like, man, it's not clicking up. But it's kind of silly, kind of bloody. There's just blood everywhere. Like I said, for $2, it was fun to go back, because I haven't played it, probably since 2001, and just not that bad. And then on the other side of things, for what I watched, I recently, I knew the new Jurassic Park was coming out, and I had never seen Jurassic Park 2 or 3. And I had the Blu-ray box set, and so I decided to watch Jurassic Park 2 and 3. And I have not seen the new one yet, but man, Part 2, one time I tried to watch it, and I was kind of in just an odd mood, and it stressed me out, and I had to turn it off. But this time, I was ready. And it's really pretty much just dinosaurs chasing and eating people. The thing that got so tense would be, these people just be sitting there, and you see the little puddles moving. It's just like, oh God, something's coming. It's just T-Rexes ripping people in half. Man, it pretty much was like a big thrill ride. And I mean, Part 3 kind of just picked up too, and just had that action going. And these movies are a little bit older, back from the 90s, and still looked great. That combination of practical effect and CGI was just really outstanding, and it still looks better than a lot of just straight CGI things today. What they did was awesome. And it was nice for me to, man, Jurassic Park 2 and 3, I was I just never seen them, and it was good to go back and watch these, and they were still, really great. And on another thing, actually today, what's really cool, I'm not making it there though, but they had the 40th anniversary of Jaws, and they're showing it in select theaters today, which is Sunday the 21st, and also Wednesday, the 24th, the 24th on Wednesday. Those 2 days, you can go see Jaws in the theater, shown in its original ratio. I know it's at the IMAX theater here, but I'm pretty sure it's not on the IMAX screen. It's just on the regular. But it'd be really cool to go back and check a classic movie at the theater. And I actually watched Jaws the other day when I was off, in honor of a couple of shark attacks we've had around here recently. I hate for people to get hurt, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of attracted to animal attacks like that. It's just something, it's just like you're in their place, man. I don't go in the ocean, man. That's theirs. They can have it. I'll hang out around here. But we had two shark attacks. One kid, he lost his arm, but he's okay. And the other girl, I believe, also lives. The people didn't die. But I decided to watch Jaws. I watched 1 and 2. When I decide to watch Jaws, I might sit and watch all 4 of them sometimes. I just really enjoy it. Just if you've never seen Jaws, hey, go see it in the theater today or Wednesday. Or just get it on DVD. The Blu-ray's great. It's got lots of extra features. Just classic, awesome movie. And that's about the most I've been doing right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, with my work lately, working so much, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play a whole lot. So my list is very short. I've been playing a little bit of Smash. I mentioned that earlier with using Ryu. I was playing a little bit of that. Now, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is a free download on PS4 now, which should have been free to begin with. I mean,
oh really?
Yeah. So I boycotted it for the longest time. I made a video being like, I'm not supporting this, and I still didn't support it. When it's free, I'm like, okay, I'll download it, and I went to go try it out, and honestly, the beginning cinematic was just something I had seen so many times in previews that I was just like, can I skip this? So I'm sitting there hitting buttons. I can't skip it. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not playing this. So I started playing something else. Not saying that I won't go back to it, but I just wasn't in the right mind frame to sit there and watch a 40-minute cinematic before playing a game. The game looked beautiful, and I'm pretty sure the game's fun, but I just wasn't in the mood for that. So I've been playing mostly Smash, a little bit of Splatoon, and that's been about it. Like I said, I haven't been able to play a whole lot.
Did you like the Splatoon?
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
That's good. I had a buddy of mine was asking me, if I'm like, he was just wanting to like play online and stuff, with friends, and was asking me about it, and I was like, well, I said, hey, that'd be cool because I know some other people, that have it too. Wait, is that the one? Wait, you can't even pick who you play with on there, though, can you?
I don't know. I haven't played online with anybody I know yet.
I remember hearing a complaint that was, maybe you can't. I don't know if it's maybe you couldn't team up with certain people. It was something because they just wanted to make a interact with everybody thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure of the details of it.
Well,
so.
I know it doesn't have voice chat, and that was like the biggest thing that people were like turned off by. But honestly, I mean, the matches are so short; they're like 3 minutes long, and it's so fast paced that I'm like, I wouldn't even talk while I'm playing it anyway. But it's a really fun game, and it's been making a shit ton of money. I think it's definitely a brand new IP of Nintendo, and all I can say to everyone is definitely try it out. It's really fun.
And, that sounds like a cool one. Do they have a demo up for it still, or was that just a limited? When they did that?
With the game out now, it might be up for just to play now. It might not be having that time frame anymore, which was a stupid idea of theirs. But yeah, I mean, if the demo's up, I would say definitely try it out, and it's just pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I've been so busy, I just haven't really been able to play a whole lot lately.
Yeah, I know it's like we've had some serious heat around our ways. It's been like I've got it at work. I got some new stuff added to my route, so I got about like an extra hour a day. I'm at work, and I get an extra day off now, but it's still adding on, and just get hot and tired, and just want to come home and just lay down sometimes.
But yeah, hopefully, I was about to say hopefully it'll cool off, but I mean, shit, it's just now getting started. It's June. It gets even hotter in August.
Yeah, it's been feeling more like July because we've had it's been 100 or over. It's been record highs on I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, about every day, and just this past Saturday and today's Sunday feel pretty good because there's a bit of a breeze, and it's just not as just beating down on you. And also I stay inside when I'm not at work. stay outside enough. So
Definitely. Well, guys, this concludes another episode of XS Gaming, and be sure to check out, again, the XS Gaming Podcast group page on Facebook.com. Also, if you guys would, also check out my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/XanderScullion. I just made a recent review of Castlevania Chronicles for the PS1, and you can also purchase it on PSN as well. I didn't even know about that, but you guys let me know in the comments about some of the stuff that I'll leave out, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know it was on PSN, which is awesome because it gives people more of a chance to play it on PS3. And so be sure to check that out. Again, that's youtube.com/XanderScullion and XS Gaming Podcast group page on Facebook. And I think that's about it. Every once in a while I might update stuff on Twitter. That's XS Game Podcast on Twitter. But other than that, Facebook's the best way to go. YouTube's the best way to go. I'm starting to upload some of these episodes of XS Game Podcast on YouTube. So if you guys are listening to us on YouTube, be sure to check out more episodes on Podomatic.com or subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you guys subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a review. That really helps the show. It helps more people find our content. And I can't thank you guys enough.
dun 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 dun.
But yeah,
yeah, definitely. Those are great spots to check out. And yeah, thank you everybody that listens and participates on the page and shares your content. It's always awesome. Like we said, it's good to share yours, and so we can check it out and other people can see it too, and just everybody be one big happy gaming family.
Definitely. So with that, guys, I want to say have a great morning, have a great afternoon or evening, whichever time you guys are listening, and as always, happy gaming.
Have a pleasant evening, everybody.